So, you want to know how to make your garden look like $1,000,000 bucks? Well, we're going to talk about a few tips to really kind of create that vibe, create that feeling. If you guys are in the planning stages of creating your own garden and you're kind of wanting to know how to make it, from your typical landscape into more of that lush tropical resort-like setting, how to make it feel maybe a little bit more expensive, but do that more on a dime than, your typical garden style, then we're gonna go over a few things that you can do that really kind of help pull all that together. So I'm a landscape designer of over 25 years, and we have a landscape design and installation company. So from start to finish, we create beautiful landscapes along the Treasure and Space Coast. We also do design work, and recently we started with virtual consultations. We have more information down below and see if we're gonna be a good fit for you guys. The first tip I wanna share with you guys is vistas. So the first tip is create different vistas in your garden. I have several through my small little yard, my garden, and I'm telling you guys, creating little seating sections in your garden, creating different rooms, oh my gosh, that makes it feel more like a resort than anything else. This one right here that I'm sitting at now is at the end of my garden, and actually this is a bit of a cheat, you guys. I switched the seats around so you guys can see what's behind me, so you see when I'm sitting here what I'm actually looking at normally. Towards the end of the day, this area is so beautifully shaded that it's absolutely stunning. I could totally sit here, have a glass of wine, really enjoy this area, pretty much immersed in the garden. And this is one of my favorite spots. When is the hottest part of the day? Picture this. This is where you're sitting. First thing in the morning, having a cup of coffee in your True Gardener mug, enjoying your backyard space, enjoying the tropical view that you've created, enjoying seeing what's going on in your garden all the way before that sun strongly hits this area. This is my, I would say, 6 a.m. to about 10 a.m. time frame. About 10 a.m. that sun is right over top, and then I'm moving on to another vista in the garden. But this is what I enjoy. This is my spot right here that I spend so much of my time in. So this is our morning breakfast area, our late evening area is undercover. If you guys are able to do that, that is so ideal to have just a little spot in your garden where you're outside and you can enjoy your dining section. This over here is where we enjoy our game nights, enjoy sitting by the fire on those cooler evenings. I know a lot of people think that you guys have to have this big expanse of a space to really have different vistas or different rooms throughout the garden, and that is not the case. I mean, these are almost within touching distance. We have a table and chairs there for us and our family. Then you move right on to this seating section here. Right behind is that seating section that I was just talking about a moment ago, where I come out and have my cup of coffee. Now this feels to me like 3 separate rooms, but really it's within a small square footage to enjoy the outdoor space. It feeds us gardeners to create this outdoor space. This is a place that we want to be. It's a place we want to sit. It just kind of make your garden feel more like a botanical garden where you go from one area to another area connected by pathways. You're trying to make your garden look more like a resort. When you guys are traveling, when you're having those tropical vacations, what soothes your soul the most? This is something that I'm going to recreate in my own style, in my own space, and that's ultimately what we all want. So one thing that resorts and those kind of pricey restaurants have in common is outdoor lighting. I mean, they really know how to sell that atmosphere, and that comes at a premium for all of us. Use some soft silhouette lighting in your own garden and see how much you enjoy just cooking that steak out in your backyard, bringing that ambiance to your backyard space and having dinner outside. I'm going to share with you some serious lighting options. The first one is overhead lighting. Now, I know not all of us can have chandeliers and big lights. Mix your twinkle lights in, mix your little Christmas lights in. I have been through several different lighting options. This is one of my favorite because you get so many lights on one GFI outlet. If you have overhead structures, a tiki hut, an overhead cabana, even if it's umbrella lighting, wrap these bad boys up, really kind of give you that twinkle, fairy light overhead rooftop kind of feel that the restaurants offer you when you're outdoor dining. Another area that I have them in is along my walkway. I've kind of meandered them through all natural along the walkway to really offer that little bit of twinkle right through the greenery of the garden. Now, I've also mixed them with cafe lights because if you have little lights and you have big lights and you have a combination of it, it just offers so much ambiance. I chose the in Brighton for a reason. I like that they offer different colors. So for fall, for spring, for 4th of July, for all of the holidays, I like to have one set of lighting instead of having to do a bunch of different decorations. However, I know that a lot of people use lighting as their outdoor kind of overhead structures, but don't sleep on putting them in the garden. I have 155 foot of cafe lights that run through the middle of my berm. It looks like little fireflies light up that backyard space. So that way it's not directly overhead, it's cast out into the shadows of the palm fronds and the different leaf structures. And those of you guys who think that, gosh, is that gonna break the bank? Not at all. The cafe lights are around $50, $60. And if you guys want these exact lighting options, then please check out my Amazon storefront. I'll be sure to put those links down below in the description. Things that I've done well in my garden, lights that have actually held up for a long period of time. But let's pop out and check out those lights. All right, so we are in my side yard now. We created a little gate entrance that comes into our backyard secret garden, and we do not have electricity here. So what I did choose to do was find 2 post solar lights. These guys have been fabulous. This looks like glass, but it's actually a very hard plastic. And this area, you guys, is fairly shaded. So I had some concerns whether or not that this was going to be something that was going to really light up the space. And I am pleasantly surprised with how much light this gives off. We have had parties, we have had events here, 11, 12, 1 a.m. These lights are still on. So I absolutely love that they've given this gate a gate entrance without having to do all the wiring and all the expense. So I know we are in the middle of the day, so you guys are not getting the benefit of what this is, but I wanted to give you just kind of a point of reference of the location of where these lights are. So these are solar lights. These are 2 solar lights. They come 2 in a pack, and I've run them along my Lucie hedge. I kind of softly drape like this, and oh gosh, they're just so cool. They're so gorgeous. They add a little bit of ambiance right to the front of my space, and I think they're fabulous to work with. And one great thing is they're inexpensive, and I don't need to plug them in. I mean, they're not costing me a thing once I purchased them initially. So I've had them for a couple years. Fabulous to work with. I'll be sure to put them in the description down below. All right, for the next tip, you guys, is find those key features, just those perfect things that show your personality. I know you can go shopping and find all kinds of cool features in a lot of those outdoor patio decor places, but do not sleep on places like Facebook Marketplace. Buy secondhand if you can, because I have found so many cool pieces that have been such conversation pieces throughout my garden that I've gotten from Facebook Marketplace. For instance, this cool sign I got it for Bryce and Marissa's wedding, but I absolutely fell in love with it. And then I found this greenery wall on Amazon to kind of just accentuate it and really kind of add a little bit of ambiance for what was technically not a very interesting wall there. So that goes to covering up some of your spaces with some little interesting features. I found these cute little hummingbirds on Facebook Marketplace. I thought they were just such a nice little bit of charm. I got this old window, which I love. That's a completely different style, but I got that on Facebook Marketplace, and I feel like it fits my space. It fits my personality. I got these chandeliers on Facebook Marketplace. I think I'm going to add some baskets, some kind of cool lighting that hangs underneath of them. And I'm always encouraging my clients, hey, if you want a fountain and you want it on a budget, go to Facebook Marketplace, see what you can find, because there's always some cool fountains that you can incorporate into your garden. Put those in your garden, and then voila, you've got a gorgeous feature for 1/10 of the price. And this cool gate was also found on Facebook Marketplace. And another way to make your space just a little bit more luxurious, really kind of adding a little bit of stonework, adding a little bit of boulders. Now, I know this isn't as cost effective as some of the other things that we talked about. However, it is worth its weight in gold because it gives your eye a place to rest. It really changes up that look of all that layered tropical foliage. Love this little rock wall that we created. And all we did was take basketball-sized boulders, inset them flat side on the ground, rounded them out. It gives us a little bit of a different look. We did enough of it so there's a theme. So we have one clean line edging, one rustic edging, one kind of cool, sleek, contemporary look. I feel like we have it all in one spot. And so by changing up the elements like that, it makes your garden look more luxurious, whether it's a stone path like you see here, maybe even incorporating a little flagstone. Oh gosh, I love that look. It adds that charm, that ambiance to a space. So as we're walking to the next and last tip, you guys, please, if there's anything that you've done in your garden and it has just been a humdinger, it's been the thing that like, oh my gosh, this made all the difference in the world and it didn't cost you a pretty penny, please list in the comments down below, share it with this community because we are all looking for inspiration and ideas to create just that perfect outdoor resort, that perfect outdoor space. And if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But now for the last tip for today, find a key feature. Now, take your time with this because it took me a little while to find what I wanted to become a focal point. It does not have to be big. It can be small, like a ponytail palm, like a desert rose. It does not have to be anything large, but something interesting, something you want to showcase. And then you can incorporate small things after that. So I know necessarily this might not be the cheapest thing in the garden center. However, if you get it young in a small pot, then you know it's going to be large and beautiful and interesting as it gets some size to it, like this girl behind me. This Madagascar palm was $120 when I got her. I got her from a garden center. She didn't have all of these cool sprawling trunks, but I knew she was going to be a key feature in my garden. So she got forefront, up close, VIP status kind of feel because I knew that I love the look of this tree. All the pictures I've seen of them are just awesome. I made a perfect place for her. I put her in a rock garden. I lifted her up out of the swale so she has more drainage, but I made sure that she was going to be something that I not only saw from my seating section, my favorite seating section, but I saw from inside my kitchen area. I saw from where I do the dishes. I saw from my seating section inside. I made sure that she was in that spot that drew me out into the garden. And that's what these key things are about. From one window in your house or right from the front door when you walk in, and put that thing right there forefront, right in your garden. Make that the focal point that you build everything around. That's exactly what this gal does in my garden. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, then you will enjoy last week's video, which was about bringing the outdoors inside with a beautiful option for some gorgeous cutting gardens to bring indoors. Thank you so much. Take care. I will see you guys next weekend.